So hello everybody, some vital news. Binance just moved 200 million from their wallet to another wallet. Now what we can see here is this is monstrous. Now make certain to drop a like, make certain to buy in light of the fact that this is some significant information. So we can see, hold up, okay, now this is something 30 trillion 200 million being moved here. It's being purchased up and you realize it got moved from wallet on Binance to another, and we can see perhaps a trade bought a few, and this is the most conceivable hypothesis, and trades understand what's concocting Shiba. You realize, I think this is a very decent pointer that something is coming. You realize this was posted yesterday. It went from Finance Wallet 14 to 16, and we can see that that is a serious buy. And what is this person contributing? He's as of now one free enterprise, so obviously I think it says Binance and money purchased that much it would specify.
They're as of now going to purchase 30 trillion, and they purchased that. You realize they're now going for that crypto as purchasing a ton as well, and on the off chance that I couldn't say whether they previously did it or not, so huge trades are getting ready for Shiba Inu detonating in value. I think this obviously advises you, however, that 200 million is a great deal of cash, particularly in Shiba Inu coins, and individuals simply are really amped up for this one. And why precisely did fund and such countless huge trades purchase a major sum? I sincerely, with 200 million, I'd purchase everybody a house that is watching this video. Yet how about we get to the rudiments here? We should perceive what's really going on. So Bitcoin will go as far as possible 260,000. So envision what will occur with Shiba Inu after a Shiba trade over the long haul, and the highs for Bitcoin are yet to be seen for the current year, and we can see that it's going to go as far as possible 160k, and yes, that is really energizing to see. So in the event that you examine the video here, it's anything but a spring, right? This his expression that the Bitcoin will go up to 160k. We're going to be seeing a major bounce back, and that is something I need to see. That is something I love all through. The cost of Bitcoin keeps on drifting around 30,000 or 40,000. Industry specialists are taking note of that. This is a bullish long haul. So they have been now saying that we're exceptionally close to a plunge, and we could be seeing enormous increments. To place it in context, as CEO and prime supporter of Celsius, the unified digital money landing stage, told Coin Broadcast at Bitcoin 2021 in Miami that he sees Bitcoin arriving at 160k this year. So these are some large words, or conceivably a piece lower. So we haven't seen the highs yet for 2021, and you realize that was only the beginning of 60k, was only the huge beginning. McKinsey highlight commented that the crypto market was destined for a revision following Bitcoin's new unsurpassed high of 63,000. When you go too high too quick, you're headed for a rectification. You can see my tweets in both WAC or February. We will have an accident, we will have an amendment. I anticipated 30,000. Bitcoin resembles spring. We stretch it to an extreme, and we put it an excessive amount of influence. An excessive number of individuals get eager, and that is by and large what happens. You realize individuals begin purchasing a ton of bank transport as acceptable as I would like to think, not monetary council, but rather we can see Elon Musk is controlling the market. That is the thing that he said, as well as examining the cost of Bitcoin. Mahinsky remarked most who late tweets about Bitcoin. He said Musk isn't helping the crypto local area, but instead control the market as such. She noticed the Musk is basically a psychological oppressor in the place where there is crypto. Now I have no remarks of that, except for he likewise realized that Tesla tolerating Bitcoin installments will profit Musk, however not customers, and that is certainly evident as Bitcoin develops. You realize you pay for your Tesla, you pay perhaps 100k in Bitcoin. Since you get incredibly rich from transport Inu, and afterward when you pay that Bitcoin will be 300k sooner or later. If the most extravagant person on the planet will trade Bitcoin for Tesla, you need to ask yourself who's getting the acceptable arrangement. The moment you purchase that Tesla, it's worth short of what you paid for, yet Bitcoin will keep on expanding the worth. So Marathon is useful for Elon, yet it's anything but useful for you. So Celsius moves business activities to the US, and we can see here complete Coin Broadcast that Celsius will be moving its business tasks, and that he's certain that Bitcoin will arrive at 160k. So this will be huge news. You realize will have a major progress at the present time, and if this is genuine, Shiba Inu will just detonate now. In the event that we likewise check here, Bitcoin cost close to base inside 30k plunge, and says bullish institutional report, so causes to notice the 2.3 billion alternatives expiry with a possible change in assumption coming from there on. on, so we could be seeing some large changes and Bitcoin full scale C stays as before, you know, dove beneath 30K. We can see that Bitcoin to shut the lower, jumping down 28 subsequent to neglecting to break 42 before the end of last week. We can see that the vulnerability is 2.3 billion finish of the quarter Bitcoin alternatives, which is set to terminate on Friday, especially removing to add vitality in the business sectors. And you know, there's an investigation out there that is saying that we're really going to develop, so not all terrible news, you know, regardless of whether it plunges, it's in reality uplifting news. Many individuals have been asking that the cost is dropping, yet there's such countless updates for transport. For anybody that is calling you realize transport dropping, that is dropping, simply stay patient. Right now everybody, we're in the same boat, so point focal is remaining together and you know being solid right now. With for Shiba, you realize not every person is persuaded that 20 to 28K floor enduring on Tuesday will be the remainder of Bitcoin bearish, yet we could be seeing, you realize, organizations saying the brokers may invite any opportunity to require stock following 7 days occasions. The previous 24 hours more than 1 billion positions was sold by fast value developments, and yes, you know, a ton of things are coming in. Microsoft is stepping in to cover the inventory at 30,000. There's still somewhat left to fuel the doubters' view on a prophetically calamitous market remedy, so a great deal of these more modest coins are biting the dust. Yet Bitcoin and Shiba knows things wrong if on the grounds that Shiba, you know, is remaining at a similar value right now. I think this obviously reveals to you that Shiba Inu has a great deal of potential, however, beating Bitcoin. Why a few brokers don't give it a second thought. So we can see here that don't think often about the USD value, everything's about the Bitcoin for holders who don't plan to cash out at any point in the near future. And when the ruler of digital currencies take off, there's space for shabbiest awful coins to punch their way above weight, and it unquestionably advises you if Shiba Inu is as yet alive, it's anything but a terrible coin, it's a decent coin. And when Bitcoin staggers, then the best alts, you know, endure a shot, and some of them even bite the dust. Unfortunately, you know, a ton of more modest coins just passed on, and numerous merchants when the crypto markets are generally courageous by diminished in the US dollar worth of their property, since they exchange only against Bitcoin on the key trades where liquidity of the Bitcoin might be alluring on the equivalent stablecoin player. So a few merchants don't think often about the costs, you realize they simply need that excellent lovely Bitcoin. And what we're seeing so far, we are going to be seeing significantly more sure news for Bitcoin later on, so everything's associated, and I unquestionably could see that Bitcoin will ricochet back. Now, nobody being thing you need to note is where, you know, moving toward a plunge, and a ton of these terrible digital currencies will kick the bucket. However, Shiba Inu is going to be solid, as at any point it's remaining solid even in the plunges. It's really green, it's one of the lone coins that is remaining stable, and I think this reveals to you a ton. This advises you so much. And on Friday it was again El Salvador and Bitcoin. It's lost spotlight after President declared that each qualified resident would get $33 in Bitcoin downloading its wallet, so it's to show bullishness. In the meantime came for as motivation behind Bitcoin ETF, which kept on adding its resources under administration through the value trickle. So far we are going to be seeing significantly more sure news for Bitcoin later on, so everything's associated, and I unquestionably could see that Bitcoin will ricochet back. Now, nobody being thing you need to note is where, you know, moving toward a plunge, and a ton of these terrible digital currencies will kick the bucket. However, Shiba Inu is going to be solid, as at any point it's remaining solid even in the plunges. It's really green, it's one of the lone coins that is remaining stable, and I think this reveals to you a ton. This advises you so much. And on Friday it was again El Salvador and Bitcoin. It's lost spotlight after President declared that each qualified resident would get $33 in Bitcoin downloading its wallet, so it's to show bullishness. In the meantime came for as motivation behind Bitcoin ETF, which kept on adding its resources under administration through the value trickle. And in the end, don't forget like the video and subscribe the channel for more news about Shiba Coin and other coins.